So I guess my story begins, really when I was 2, my parents divorced, and I really didn't realize that it had affected me at all until I started school. And I was just always felt different, and I started to really hate myself and be ashamed of myself, even though there's nothing that I did to cause it or be blamed for. I always did blame myself, and just being in the middle of 2 parents like that in the middle, I always felt like I just never measured up. I really just learned to deal with that by being the class clown and trying to cover that up with just being silly and avoiding what I really felt like inside. And in high school, I guess I started going to church, and I was able to join the praise and worship team, and I'm very thankful for those years. They planted a lot of really good seeds in my life, and I learned a lot about God, and it really probably saved my life many times. When I got to college, I lived on my own, and I entered into a relationship, and it turned out to be a physically abusive relationship, and I guess the only thing that ended it really was that one night I was alone in my apartment, and he broke into my apartment, and he had a gun, and he said that he wanted to kill himself and that it was my fault because I had broken up with him. And I just remember thinking, there's power in the name of Jesus, and I just continued to say Jesus. And I just remember being hunkered down in the corner of my apartment and just saying Jesus, Jesus. And it was like something out of a movie. I mean, he literally just stopped what he was doing and turned around and walked off and left. And I was able to get out of that relationship, thankfully. And I just know that God saved me from a lot of, I don't know where I would be right now if God hadn't saved me from that relationship. But I guess after that, I met my husband, and we got married, and we both worked a lot, and we did really well. We didn't have any kids yet, and we just, we were okay, but we didn't go to church. We really didn't. We were just kind of in the middle, just kind of, we weren't doing anything for God, and, we weren't doing anything we shouldn't have been doing, but we were just kind of in the middle. And then we had my little boy. And I think just the exhaustion of no sleep, and financially it was more, expensive to have a child, and I was working part-time. And that really put a financial strain on our relationship. And then I had my little girl, and it was ×2. So we continued with the financial stress, and it just really started to burden our whole relationship, and it caused a lot of resentment for both of us. Right before my daughter was born, I decided to stay home and not work, which it was difficult financially, but we just did not have anyone at the time to help us watch her. So I stayed home, and that just created a financial burden that we've never experienced before. And like I said, we just really started to resent each other because I stayed home and my husband worked all the time and just never could seem to make ends meet. When I started coming to Esserville, I was just kind of burned out on church. I just came because I was supposed to, and I wanted my kids to be in church, but I never, I was just really starting to get burned out on it. It was just really exhausting because I have to bring them by myself because my husband works on the weekends. So anyway, we started coming here, and I could just really tell a difference in myself. And I know that the devil just did not want us to come here because there's just so much in our future that God had planned good for us, that Satan did everything he could to stop us. And, our relationship got worse, and just, we got worse, and finally, it just got to a point where neither one of us wanted to be around each other. And I really don't know what the difference was. I don't know really what happened, but the only thing I can say is that it was just God. One day, my husband messaged Danny on Facebook and wanted to talk to him, and he said that God had been dealing with his heart and he wanted to rededicate his life to Jesus. And ever since that, it's not been easy, but it's been easier. We've been able to get along a lot better. And I've just been praying, Lord, that, we would be able to come to church together, and we're still waiting for that blessing, but the Lord has just really worked in our lives. He's changed me a lot. He's really taught me to be humble, and just appreciate all the little things in life, and mostly just to rely on Him, even when times are bad. There have been so many times that I just didn't know. I didn't know what we were going to do financially. Like, it was just so stressful to not know what we were going to do, but God always provided for us. Even in the worst times, He was able to bless us. And just recently, I can just tell so much of a difference between myself and my husband. Like, we've been able to get along so much better ever since he rededicated his life to Jesus. And I don't really know how else to say it, but I'm just thankful that God rescued me so many times, from when I was a kid and when I was in college, and again in my marriage. He's rescued me many times, and I'm very thankful for Him that He's never gave up on me, no matter what I did or how backslidden I was when I was in college. He never gave up on me. He always found a way back into my heart, no matter how hard I would run, or no matter how far at the bottom of the pit I felt like I was. He always found his way back. He always helped me find my way back to Him. So I know He never left me. So I guess that's my story. And if I were to choose one word that would describe my life, it would be rescued.